JJ the CPA here. Hope you're doing well. Hey, so a message out there for you tax pros, EAs, and CPAs. So of course we have Notice 2020-32, and I got to be honest, I'm a little surprised how shocking the news is. I thought that it's been an obvious since it became law. When you take a look at the forgiveness and how it's calculated, if you also if you've ever been involved with grants or been around them, right? So when a company gets a grant, it's not taxable to them, but then whatever the grant pays for is not deductible to the business. And so given that that's how it worked, that was my interpretation from, I think actually since the Senate passed it. Maybe I didn't make a bigger deal out of it. I know I've intertwined it in my emails. I did my videos. I did a video a couple of weeks ago on QuickBooks, and when this is booked, initially, it's a liability in the sense that you need to spend it in the way that it was meant to be spent. And you can do it one of two ways. You can either just allocate the expenses and reduce down the liability as the expenses reduce the liability, and or track all of the expenses like you normally do, and then at year end you make an adjustment, not as an income item, but as a subtraction. And there does seem to be a sentiment out there that somehow this is unfair. So I don't know. I guess if you're just really looking at it from the client's perspective, and of course, as CPAs, EAs, tax pros, we want our clients to have every deduction. I doubt that maybe you're feeling this way, but I think we should, in my mind, change the tune. I've told my clients from minute one, I said, hey, you're going to get these dollars. Just FYI, whatever they're used for, we're not going to be able to deduct it. But at the end of the day, you got money that's not taxable at used expenses that you're not getting to deduct. So just be prepared for that. But it kind of puts you in the exact same position as if technically it is taxable, even though it's not. It's that it's a reduction of expenses. And if you do like R&D credits, whatever the credit is, that's a deduction or a reduction of the deductions. It's a reduction of the expenses. And so anyways, I've been talking about it since day one. So I'm a little surprised at how surprising it is. I'm a little surprised that it seems shocking. I'm a little surprised that there seems to be a negative sentiment around it. We got free money. I know that the mindset is like, what was a capital investment into the small businesses? Yeah, it was. And then it was to expense some things. So, how else would it be categorized? Capital contribution from the United States of America. And so now the U.S. owns part of the company. So I don't know. I don't mean to be cynical, but I'm just massively surprised at how surprising this news is in Notice 2020-32. It's zero surprise for me. It seems to be no big deal. I do see articles on it. I've had some CPAs that have commented or emailed. I've gotten some emails even last week, and I was kind of like, what are you even talking about? That were like, you're indicating that it's not deductible. How can that be the case? And then I've had CPAs like, well, gosh, I guess you were right because it's in Notice 2020-32. So anyways, for me, I'm going to lead the way in this and with my clients, since I've done from the beginning, which sounds like a fair, square deal to me. And what I told the clients is, if you want the deduction, then don't take the money. Then you can have the deduction. That's simple. You're going to get free money, and it's going to use it for expenses that you're now not having to pay for. It's a wash. So it's not that it's taxable, but it is going to reduce down. And so it kind of just puts you in the same position. And if that seems unfair, then what can be done is they can hand the PPP money back, right? They went and asked for it. That wasn't shoved down their throats. The government didn't come and say, you must spend this money and therefore you don't get to deduct it. It's like, hey, if you need some help, come and apply. We'll give you some dollars. It's the same thing with the EIDL. It's just the way that grants have always worked. This isn't even anything new. Grants have always worked this way. you get grant money and you're spending it, it's not your damn money. So you don't get the deduction. So anyways, I don't mean to be cynical, but I'm massively surprised. I've already said it 3 times, so I guess you get the point. I'm like, it's shocking to me that this is a surprise and that it's even taken negatively, because it's been that way from the beginning. I mean, it's just been that way from the beginning. So, all right, hey, let your clients know this is a fair and square deal. It's fair and square. Hand the money back if you don't think it's fair. All right, JJ the CPA here. I'd love it if you'd subscribe.